to Egypt, and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has held talks with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry. The three were meant to discuss bilateral ties and regional issues. A joint press conference was scheduled but cancelled due to what officials are calling John Kerry's tight schedule. There are currently several thorny issues between the United States and the region. Ahead of the visit, Washington did not make clear which of those would be discussed in Cairo. The threat of ISIL militants in the Sinai Peninsula and in neighboring Libya are likely to feature high on the agenda. Let's get you now more on that story. CCTV's Adel Mahroui standing by for us in Cairo in Egypt. Adel, the press conference was cancelled. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, it seems that, as you mentioned, that the official statement is that there wasn't enough time for them to announce or to hold a press conference after the meeting. Kerry has met President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Sameh Shoukry, the Egyptian foreign minister. There were a broad scope of topics given from the State Department in the United States and from Egypt that will be discussed or should have been discussed in that meeting. But analysts here say that most probably one of the pressing issues that Kerry came to speak of is a court case ongoing about foreign funding of NGOs in Egypt. Back after the 2011 January uprising, there was a very big case through which American NGOs were accused of illegally getting money from abroad into the country, and it was a excuse me, it was a big case. And supposedly foreign citizens here, mainly U.S. citizens, should have been under arrest, but they managed to flee the country before the trial proceeds. Now the trial is held, the retrial for that was held today, was the first session. So it seems to be there is a very strong essence about time-wise about his visit and the time of the trial. Of course, these are all mainly speculations from analysts. There hasn't been anything official on that released.
Well, Adel, there are a broad scope of topics that you did mention earlier that may be discussed, although John Kerry may have wanted to concentrate on the foreign funding of non-governmental organizations. But what are the likely issues, though, that Egypt may want discussed?
Well, basically, regional issues come as the most likely topics, particularly Libya. You know that the United States is leading a global coalition against the Islamic State. Egypt is one of the countries that suffers from its influence and its training for militants from both the northeastern borders in the Sinai and the western borders through Libya. So Egypt is one of these countries who suffer the most from that, and it seems to be there are coordinations, particularly with the reports that the United States has been holding some airstrikes using drones from taking off from Italy and targeting the Islamic State cities, mainly in Sirte. So the coordination in that regard is very essential for both countries, and cooperating in the interference and in helping the Libyan government in that regards is something that both countries want to see take place. They definitely want to see the influence of the Islamic State shrinking in Libya, which in turn would positively reflect on the violence in the region.
Right, Adel Mahroui for us there in Cairo. Thank you.